Japanese centenarians are famous for stopping before they feel completely full. The reason is not that 80% is a magic number. It is that the pause leaves room for the body's meal-ending signals to catch up before comfort turns into pressure. Today, I'll show you how to use that idea safely after 65, without dieting, counting every calorie, or risking the nutrition your muscles need. The Japanese phrase is hara hachi, commonly translated as eating until you are about 80% full. It is especially associated with Okinawa and with older Okinawan generations known for exceptional longevity. But let us draw an important line at the start. Researchers observe that those generations tended to eat a traditional, nutrient-dense diet with relatively low calorie intake. That does not prove this one saying caused them to live longer. Longevity is never the work of one table rule. Genetics, lifelong activity, social connection, healthcare, smoking patterns, childhood conditions, and the foods available across an entire lifetime can all matter. Even Okinawa is not frozen in time. Reviews of the evidence note that its former life expectancy advantage is now largely concentrated in older cohorts, while diets and health patterns changed in younger generations. So the lesson worth borrowing is smaller and more useful. Do not chase the lives of centenarians by copying a percentage. Use the phrase as a prompt to notice the moment when hunger has eased, the food still tastes good, and you could continue, but you no longer need to. There is real physiology behind that pause. A meal does not end because a single fullness switch flips. As you eat, taste, chewing, stomach stretch, nutrients entering the intestine, and chemical messengers all contribute to satiation. Satiation is the set of signals that helps bring the current meal to a close. Those signals build together while the meal is underway. That is why speed matters. A systematic review and meta-analysis in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that slower eating was associated with lower energy intake than faster eating, although hunger afterward was not consistently different. In plain language, slowing down may reduce the amount eaten at that meal, but it is not a guaranteed appetite cure. And 80% cannot be measured with a household tool. Your stomach has no fuel gauge. One person's comfortable stopping point may feel different from another's, and it can change with the meal, medication, activity, illness, sleep, and stress. Treat 80% as a rough image. Comfortably satisfied, not stuffed. Here is a simple way to find that point at your next main meal. Before the first bite, ask one question. You do not need a perfect score. Just notice whether you feel truly hungry, mildly ready to eat, or are eating mainly because the clock, television, or serving dish prompted you. This is information, not a test you can fail. Then serve a complete meal, not a punishment portion. Include a useful protein food, vegetables or fruit, and a satisfying source of carbohydrate or healthy fat that fits your medical needs and preferences. Hara hachi should not mean removing the foods that help protect muscle, bone, and energy. Once you begin, create a little friction against rushing. Put the fork or spoon down now and then. Chew until the bite is comfortable to swallow. Take a sip if fluids are safe for you. Let conversation happen. You do not have to chew each bite a prescribed number of times or stretch dinner into a ceremony. The aim is simply to stop racing the plate. Around the middle of the meal, pause for 3 calm breaths, then ask, has the sharp edge of hunger gone? Does the next bite still answer hunger, or would it mainly continue the flavor and the habit of finishing? Those are different questions. Enjoying another bite is not wrong. Food is pleasure, culture, and company, but recognizing that hunger has already settled gives you a choice. You might keep eating because the meal is appropriate and you need the nutrition, or you might stop because you feel comfortably satisfied. The practice is awareness, not obedience. Look for quiet signals rather than waiting for a dramatic wall of fullness. The food may become a little less exciting. Your eating may naturally slow. The hollow feeling may be gone. Your abdomen may feel settled but not tight. You can imagine standing up and moving comfortably after the meal. When you notice that point, stop for 5 minutes if the setting allows. Move the plate slightly away or cover the leftovers. If genuine hunger remains after the pause, eat more. This is not a trick. It is permission to check again after more of the body's feedback has arrived. If that were the whole picture, 80% full might look like a universal weight loss rule. But the research on older adults adds a second, more important truth. Many seniors already eat too little. Appetite and energy intake tend to decline with age. Reviews describe an anorexia of aging, meaning a loss of appetite that can contribute to undernutrition, muscle loss, frailty, and reduced independence. The European Society for Clinical Nutrition and Metabolism advises that dietary restrictions should generally be avoided in older people, and that weight loss diets should be considered only in older adults with obesity and weight-related health problems, with individualized care and exercise. This changes how you use the Japanese idea. If you are frail, underweight, recovering from illness or surgery, living with a poor appetite or losing weight without trying, do not deliberately eat less. Do not push your plate away at an arbitrary percentage. Speak with your clinician or a registered dietitian, because the safer goal may be more energy and protein in smaller, easier meals. Unintentional weight loss deserves attention. The National Institute on Aging warns that sudden weight loss can signal a medical problem. Trouble chewing or swallowing, low mood, medication effects, digestive disease, memory problems, and difficulty shopping or cooking can all reduce intake. A cultural saying should never hide those warning signs. Protein is another reason not to turn this into restriction. The ProTage expert group recommends that many adults over 65 consume about 1 to 1.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight each day to help maintain lean mass and function. Needs can be higher during illness, while severe kidney disease may require a different plan. Your own target belongs with a qualified professional who knows your health. Practically, this means you should not stop after filling up on tea, broth, or salad while leaving the protein untouched. If early fullness is a problem, begin with the most nutritionally important part of the meal. Eggs, yogurt, fish, poultry, tofu, beans, or another suitable protein can come first. Then continue with the rest, as appetite allows. For someone with stable weight and a clinician-approved goal to reduce excess weight, the approach can be different. Build a balanced plate, slow the pace, and stop at comfortable satisfaction instead of physical pressure. Do not save all day for one enormous dinner. Extreme hunger makes subtle stopping signals much harder to hear. Portion size can quietly override those signals. Large restaurant servings, family-style dishes, and the belief that leaving food is wasteful can keep the hand moving after hunger has ended. You can respond without wasting food. Ask for a smaller serving, split a restaurant meal before you begin, or place leftovers in the refrigerator for tomorrow. Stopping now does not mean throwing food away. The clean plate habit often carries a lifetime of emotion. Perhaps food was scarce when you were young. Perhaps wasting a cook's effort felt disrespectful. Honor that history while changing the next action. The respectful choice can be to store the food carefully and enjoy it later, rather than making your body the storage container. Also notice meals that make a comfortable stopping point easier. Protein, fiber-rich foods, and minimally processed ingredients often create a more satisfying meal than a plate dominated by foods that are easy to eat very quickly. That does not make any food forbidden. It means the structure of the meal can support the pause. It also helps to separate three sensations that are often bundled together. Hunger is the drive to begin or continue eating. Comfortable satisfaction is the sense that the meal has done its job. Stuffed is the pressure, heaviness, or discomfort that arrives after the useful stopping point. Hara hachibu asks you to look for the middle state. It does not ask you to leave the table with distracting hunger. Consider an ordinary restaurant lunch. The plate may contain enough food for 2 meals, but your eyes quickly accept it as one serving. Before you begin, decide that leftovers are allowed. Eat the balanced parts of the meal, slow down when the first hunger fades, and reassess. If you want more, continue without guilt. If you are satisfied, ask for a container. The decision is based on your body, not the restaurant's plate size. At home, distraction can be the bigger obstacle. When attention is fixed on television or a phone, it is easy to miss the change from hungry to satisfied. You do not need a silent dining room. Try keeping the first and middle few minutes of one meal screen-free. Notice the taste, your pace, and the point where urgency eases, then enjoy the rest of your evening. Family meals bring another challenge. A generous host may offer seconds before you have checked in with yourself. A warm answer can protect both the relationship and your comfort. That was delicious. So let me sit for a few minutes before I decide. If hunger returns, take more. If not, you have appreciated the meal without eating past comfort. The same flexibility matters from day to day. After a long walk, physical therapy, or an unusually active morning, you may need more food. During illness, appetite may fall even while nutrition needs remain important. A fixed rule cannot account for that. Your stopping point should respond to your needs, and medical nutrition advice should outrank a cultural guideline. For people who monitor blood glucose or take medicines that interact with meal timing, do not improvise major portion changes. A smaller meal can alter how a prescribed plan works. Ask the clinician or pharmacist who manages that treatment how to adjust safely. Mindful pacing can still be useful, but it belongs inside the medical plan. Try this 7-day experiment. Choose one meal a day, preferably when you are not rushed. Before eating, notice your hunger. Halfway through, take 3 breaths. When you feel comfortably satisfied, pause for 5 minutes. If you remain hungry, continue. If you feel settled, save what is left. Do not judge the experiment by the bathroom scale after a week. Judge it by useful questions. Did you finish with less pressure or bloating? Could you move more comfortably? Did you still have enough energy? Were you hungry again unusually soon? Did you leave the protein behind? Did your weight remain still if stability is your goal? If the practice makes you weak, dizzy, preoccupied with food, or consistently hungry, it needs adjustment. If your clothes loosen without intending them to, your strength declines, or your appetite stays poor, stop restricting and call your health professional. Those are not signs of superior discipline. And remember what the Okinawan evidence can and cannot tell us. Researchers found a pattern in a particular older population shaped by a particular time, place, diet, and life history. Human calorie restriction trials such as calorie have reported improvements in some cardiometabolic and aging-related biomarkers, but those participants were generally healthy adults without obesity, not a blanket model for frail seniors, and biomarker changes are not proof of a longer human life. Hara hachibu is best kept in its modest lane. It can be a cue to slow down, notice satiation, and leave the table comfortable. It is not a prescription to chase hunger, skip protein, or copy the calorie intake of people born in another era. At your next meal, remember 3 steps: serve enough nourishment, slow the middle, and pause before pressure. If you are still hungry, eat. If you are comfortably satisfied, save the rest. That flexible decision is far more useful than trying to calculate an invisible 80%. The wisdom in the phrase is not deprivation. It is attention. You are giving your body a chance to join the conversation before habit makes the final decision. If this was helpful, subscribe for more practical, evidence-aware ways to support your health in your 60s, 70s, and beyond.